moving on from one of the better quarterbacks to one of the worst quarterbacks. We talked about Jaden Daniels at the top of the show. Uh, Caleb Williams is the other side to that story right now, and it's a sad story seeing Caleb Williams right now. This offensive line is bad. This offense is bad. And I would say Caleb, maybe he looked a little bit better as a passer, but this Bears offense in general, it's going to be a question mark. And I think that's kind of the theme right now, is still figuring out like who some of these teams are. And this is why you don't panic, because then we get a mega game from Caleb Williams, but it still feels like there's more to it, right? I think he's developing, and I think we saw good Romo Dunze, right? We saw really good Romo Dunze, but we saw really bad DeAndre Swift. What do you make of this Bears offense right now that's had its highs and its lows for the early part of this season so far?
Did you see that one graphic, the fourth and goal one, the offensive lineman? You should look that up on Twitter.
No,
right?
all right.
Just say Bears offensive line. Like literally all the offensive line are laying down, like they got crushed, they got beat in that fourth down play. And it was a horrible fourth down play. I don't know what they were doing with that speed option. It was just a bad play. But like, so this is the problem, is the offensive line. But I also I do want to say Caleb hasn't been playing very well. And I think it's like a combination of also the offensive line, where even going to college, like one of the thing was with Caleb, like he always plays hero ball. Like that's just, he's a guy who tries to extend these plays and make these crazy off platform throws and stuff. And it's leading to some interceptions. Like, yeah, you could probably do that in college, but this is a completely different game. These guys are a lot better than college players. So I'm not trying to sit here and say, and it's also like week 3 for Caleb Williams. Like, I think you hear this a lot with some of these analysts with the guys the expectations for quarterbacks are so high after last year with CJ Stroud. Like CJ Stroud is an anomaly. Like you can't expect every single rookie quarterback to come in here and play as good as he did, even though that they're the prospect that Caleb Williams is, even though we thought this Bears offense was going to be excellent. Like if your offensive line is not very good and you're seeing pressure at the highest rate in the NFL, it's going to be very tough to throw the football no matter who you are, like what quarterback you are. So I think that this offensive line is definitely an issue. You hope it gets better, but there's a chance it doesn't get better. It's bad all season long. And for DeAndre Swift, like this is very concerning because DeAndre Swift, this was supposed to be a good matchup. The Indianapolis Colts were giving up over 200 rushing yards per game, got crushed by Green Bay week 2. Joe Mixon ate him up. This was supposed to be a good matchup. And this Bears offense as a whole, I want to say averaged 2 yards per carry. Now, DeAndre Swift was bad, but also the biggest concern, in my opinion, is that you thought DeAndre Swift heading into the season was going to be this team's receiving back. He's not. Roshan Johnson was this team's receiving back. He's playing the third downs. He's playing the 2-minute offense. So if DeAndre Swift is losing that role, he's a guy that honestly pretty soon could be a drop if he's not playing those snaps and just continues to be a dud. Well, I unfortunately, like he was somebody that I kind of liked just because I thought that's what he was going to be. I thought that Bears offense was going to be better, but unfortunately it's not where it needs to be. I wouldn't be dropping him yet, but it's very concerning going forward.
DeAndre Swift has 37. I saw this stat from my guy Ian Hartitz on Twitter. He said DeAndre Swift has 37 carries. Only 5 of those are over 5 yards, and 12 of them are 0 or less, which is wild, bro. Yeah. That's wild for, a guy that was drafted as a top 20 running back to just, he's damn near on drop. Like in 10-team leagues, I'd be like, do I even want to hold him, Mm-hmm. And he's not a player I was ever high on, but I never expected this to be the output, even behind this line. Like you mentioned, like the receiving element, I thought that would at least be something that we could depend on. It's like, that's not even there. He's not flex worthy. He's not RB2, RB3 worthy. Right now, it's like you have to bench him. And I think in leagues where you're hoping for more optimism, maybe you get a game here and you're able to ship him off. I don't know about dropping him. I think that might be the wrong move. But don't be overexcited when a good day does come from DeAndre Swift. That would be the moment I'm like, all right, let me get this problem off of my hands because I don't want to deal with it from the rest of the year. I would say one of the saving graces for the Bears overall in general is that they do have a friendly, somewhat second half of the schedule. At least it was on paper to start the year. And then he should be getting back Keenan Allen as well, who's been dealing with the heel. So we saw Caleb air it out a little bit more, have a more successful day, but hopefully better things to come with this Bears offense in general and some added consistency with Keenan Allen coming back. Because we saw Cole Kmet finally look like, I think it was good to see him be the tight end one for this team. There was, I know, like me, I was like, who is it? Is it going to be Cole Kmet? Is it going to be Gerald Everett? It's clearly Cole Kmet this year. And I think that having a little bit of those safety valves, whether it's Keenan Allen, Cole Kmet, at some point, if it's DeAndre Swift, can help out this offense tremendously.